Did Tim Ross call me out?
Come on.
Did he call out my new book? If you guys don't know, Tim Ross, had him on the channel multiple times, been on his channel multiple times. Good friend. And people have been sending me this video like crazy. And I think we got to address it. I think we got to address it head on. Okay, so if you guys don't know who Tim Ross is, a host of the Basement Podcast, overseer of Mike Todd. Godly ambition is sneaky but dangerous.
Uh-oh.
Okay. Do you often blame God when things don't work out? People have been sending me this, DMing me this. I reached out to Tim and I reached out to Hector on his team. But I wanted to react to this video because, I mean, he is kind of blasting the idea of godly ambition. I thought it'd be good to, is he talking about my new book? Is he talking about me? Or is he talking about something totally different? And then give you guys like the actual scriptural framework of what I'm talking about. All right. So go ahead and play this video.
The reason why I say that godly ambition is the worst form of ambition is because the way I define godly ambition is when we come up with things to do for God that he never said he wanted to do through us.
So he comes in hot.
Comes in
going
hot.
at your boy.
Coming at your boy.
Going at your boy. Again, if you guys didn't know, Godly Ambition on sale, pre-order, comes out September 9th. All right. And it's going to be a slapper. Okay. So he says godly ambition is the worst ambition. But then he goes on to explain how I define godly ambition is when you feel like God told you to do something. When we come up with things to do for God that he never said to do, right?
That he wanted to do for us.
That he wanted to do for us. So to me, that's not godly ambition. And we're going to get into exactly what godly ambition is, but that's not godly ambition. That's selfish ambition. And there's two different definitions, two different words for it.
But because we dropped the God card on it, it sounds so noble that nobody can check us.
Yeah, I'm begging you, stop saying God told me.
Come on.
I'm begging you. So God told me ambition is not godly ambition.
Yeah.
Though these are not the same thing. God told me ambition is selfish ambition. It's ego masked in a religious tone that's selfish. It's because you really want something to happen.
Yep.
So then you're going to package it with something that makes you sound more holy and sanctified and then add God on it.
Yeah.
That's not godly ambition. Again, we're going to get into I'm going to take you out to the Greek. We're going to get into exactly what godly ambition is. Okay? Go ahead.
Who's going to check? Oh, God said.
Yeah, so that's how you get people to like, God told us to start a food bank.
Right.
But there's like only 7 cans of green beans in the pantry, right?
Right.
And it's like, but you said God told you to do it. And then when it doesn't work, since God can't be wrong and you're not humble enough for you to be wrong, then you blame it on God and say, God just wanted to take me through that to teach me a lesson.
He's kind of cooking. He's kind of cooking.
Got him.
He's kind of cooking.
Yeah.
All right. So play the rest of this.
So now God looks schizophrenic when really that was you.
Let's go to our handy logo software.
Shout out to Logos, the best Bible study app in the world. None greater.
And I think this is a conversation that many of us are willing to have on this topic. Okay, so James chapter 3, verse 16, it says, "For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. But the wisdom that comes out from heaven is, first of all, pure, peace-loving, considerate, submissive, full of mercy and good fruit, impartial and sincere." Okay, so this phrase, selfish ambition, if we hit Logos, which, by the way, shout out to Logos. They're a partner of the channel. If you guys didn't know, Logos is giving all of you guys a free 60-day trial of their incredible software. We'll have that pinned below. I think it's in the description of this video, logos.com/Ruslan, and you can get yourself 60 days. This software used to cost hundreds of dollars, and potentially there's even more expensive tiers.
Yeah.
So they've hooked it up to now a subscription, like $10 a month, $12 a month type of plan. So if we go here, we hit study, and then a window will open up for the different this is the topical study of it, right? But that's not what I want. I want to hit study, and I want to right click, and we can see the Bible word study book right here. And we open up and we discover that this word is, let's see if I play it for us.
Erythea.
Erythea. This is selfish ambition. This is labor for wages, selfish ambition, hostility, strife, contentiousness, right? Selfish ambition. And it's self-seeking. And this word is used quite a few times in the scriptures, right? Romans 2:8. But for those who are self-seeking and reject, right? So it's about a selfishness that's connected to this word. So I actually think that's what Tim is talking about. It's actually selfish ambition. When we're talking about godly ambition, it's this ambition we find in Philippians chapter 4, verse 11, right? And to make it your ambition to lead a quiet life, you should mind your own business, work with your own hands, just as we told you, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders and so that you will not be dependent on anybody. That's what the whole book is based on, the idea of this sort of ambition that we see. And if we, again, click here on this word, hit study, boom, check this out. It's a different word. It's crazy. Selfish ambition and godly ambition are two totally different words.
Philotimeo.
Philotimemia. Have as one's ambition, rival. Have as one's ambition, considerate and honor, aspire, love, seek after, honor, to be ambitious. When this word is used, right?
Aspire to a goal.
Aspire to a goal. You'll see it used, and you see it used 3 times in the New Testament. One of which we just went over on my Mike Winger video. It's in Romans chapter 15:20. It says, "It has always been my ambition to preach the gospel where Christ was not known, so that I would not be building on someone else's foundation." So Paul, punchline, has ambition. Right? And his ambition around preaching the gospel. This same ambition Paul is writing to them in 1 Thessalonians. This is and make it your ambition. So Paul has an ambition to preach the gospel. He says to make it your ambition. So this is the type of ambition we are to have, the godly ambition we are to have, to lead a quiet life, mind your own business, work with your own hands, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders and you will not be dependent on anybody. And then this word is used again in 2 Corinthians chapter 5, verse 9. So we make it our goal to please him, whether we are at home, in the body, or away, right? So this word right here, we make it our goal, right? Same word. So it's interesting how sometimes he's saying ambition, sometimes he's saying make it our goal, our aim, right? But it's the same exact idea. This idea, Paul says, so we make it our goal to please him, whether we are at home, in the body, or away from it, for we must all appear before the judgment seat of Christ, so that each of us may receive what is due to us. So Paul says he has ambition to what? Preach the gospel.
Yep.
Paul says as a community, we have ambition to do what? To please him.
Yes.
Right? And then the instruction to the church in Thessalonica, which was very obsessed with Jesus coming back any minute. Why? Because they were experiencing crazy persecution and they became useless. They became so heavenly minded, waiting for Jesus to return, they became useless. They got lazy. Paul, the instruction he gives it to them is to lead a quiet life, mind your own business, work with your own hands, so that your daily life may win the respect of outsiders, so that you may not be dependent on anybody. This is the type of ambition that we're encouraged to have, is the ambition to please God, the ambition to lead a quiet life, work with your own hands, become useful.
Yes.
So your daily life wins the respect of outsiders, and the ambition to do what pleases God.
Come on.
Okay. And that is not what Tim is saying. Tim is talking about, in my opinion, I think it's better classified as the selfish ambition that we saw described in James 3:16, which is a totally different Greek word. I think it's this word right here, right? Which is about selfishness and selfish ambition. So it's interesting that in the Greek, there's a distinction between the type of ambition we are commanded to have in 1 Thessalonians chapter 4 and the type of ambition, this erithia ambition that we are discouraged from having. This is not a good type of ambition. And this word, oddly enough, is only used twice in the New Testament. So it's only used in Romans, self-seeking ambition, Romans 2:8, and it's used in James chapter 3, verse 16.
Come on.
So shout out to our friends over at Logos. If you guys want the free trial, you guys can get yourself the free trial for 60 days. And then you could also get yourself, and then if you want to keep it, you can keep it. And you could also pre-order the brand new book, mygodlyambition.com. Godly Ambition is on Amazon, $23.98. We're working on making sure that we can get everybody who pre-ordered the first 2 chapters again. We had like a raffle and are giving away 10 copies, advanced copies. That's done. But we are trying to get you guys the first 2 chapters so you can get it early before it comes out September 9th.
Come on, somebody.
Anyway, thoughts on that?
No, it's great. I like it. You know, it's easy to say that's not what you meant about godly ambition. But it's even better when you can go and pull up the original language and be like, this is what the book means. So nice and clear.
Yeah, because oftentimes we will use words interchangeably without understanding the weight that discouraging people from being ambitious in a godly way can actually cause harm. And I'm not saying this in a hurt their feelings
Words
harm.
of violence.
Yeah, words of violence harm. I'm talking actual harm to the trajectory of their life. I find it frustrating when people who are highly successful tell their audience who is aspiring to be successful to not be ambitious. Right? And they make it sound like everything just magically happened for them.
Yeah.
Right? And it's like, no, yes, the hand of God, the providence of God, but God also works in systems.
Yes.
God also works in stewardship. God also works when you are faithful in the little things. God also, and that's exactly like the point of everything we're trying to explore, is making sure we have a holistic approach, that it's not just like God just sprinkles down, stability and wholeness and healing on you. No, there's a process we get to work through. That process requires a godly ambition. That process requires us to go through and understand how to steward our time, talent, and treasure so that we can make the most of our time on this side of eternity. Hey, thank you so much for checking out the video. Please be sure to comment below and subscribe and all that good stuff. And check out this other video that YouTube seems to be recommending just for you. Let me know if they nailed it. All right, I'll see you over there. Peace.